Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's me, Grant Wallace, and I am interviewing Grant Wallace today. No, I have not lost my mind. I'm still intact for the most part in my brain. This is another Grant Wallace. Some of y'all might know him just because he's awesome. And he does cool things in Atlanta. It just so happens we share the same name. And we've actually known each other since barely, but we did meet in high school many years ago. So pretty wild, just getting that out the gate. But yeah, for our before we jump in, I don't know, some things to catch up on. Kind of, you might find this interesting. I guess I definitely find this interesting, but yeah, just this was something we're starting as of yesterday on the group. You might have saw there was a poll over the weekend. I was curious what everyone thought about unsolicited DMs, aka you post in there who can help fix my fridge, and then you'll see a comment that says check your DM, and I was like, that seems a little egregious. And sure enough, y'all agree. Like, we're putting a stop to that. If you get something in the DM world where you're just like, Grant, this guy hit me up, I didn't ask for it, or girl, or they, any of the above, just let me know. I don't like. I like that y'all said, as a group, as a whole, because that's what this whole thing's about. It's like I always say, it's we, not me. Y'all were like, no, I don't like this, and I will gladly step forward. And if someone breaks one of these rules, let me know, and I can provide some actions to, remove them or suspend them or whatever. So, but like, you're still allowed to. Let's put it this way. You can talk to whoever you want to talk to. I'm just trying to help in that part of the internet schmooze world where, you might not want that. And if you don't want it, well, guess what? You can let me know, and I can help alleviate whatever that's going on. Because yeah, obviously DMs are super helpful, right? It can be helpful, but I could see a world where it comes across spammy or just whatever. And if you're getting that vibe, then we have an answer there. So that's it for that part of the intro. Second part of the intro, I kind of need to maybe send out a weird apology. Maybe not weird, but just like, there was a post I made last week. I don't even need to maybe I'll bring it up. Sure, why not? It's my little section at the beginning. There was my grandparents told me about something, and I thought it was interesting and helpful and informative because it went under my radar. I opened up an investment account for my daughter, and it's a Trump account, which, I just like anything with his name attached to it, I ignore. But this happened to be it's a $1,000 investment that the government gives you, and then it goes into your child's name. So I put a little PSA about it, and suffice to say, obviously y'all didn't care for it. Some people did. It's about, in my eyes, is about putting your children first, not above politics, right? This is like something that will benefit your kid down the way. I even tied it in, what if they want to operate a small business, and it's their money at the end of the day, their call on what they want to do with it. It's just I just saw it as an opportunity. Here's something that happened. Facebook did not like that, as many of y'all didn't like it either, but they almost shut down the entire group. Pretty scary night there. I got the alert, and I was like, well, there goes six years of all this stuff I built up, and I mean, it could have just gone away overnight. They saw that I had good intentions, so they kept the group alive. Wake up call for me. I am not going to participate anymore in voicing my thoughts in that world of thinking I might be doing something, but in the actuality, thinking I might be doing something nice, but in actuality, I'm doing something that's like, you know, it's just not meant for the group, right? We're supposed to keep it more honed in on like businesses and homeowners and stuff. And although it breaks my heart a little bit to like censor myself, and you know, it is what it is, and I am happy to oblige by internet rule gods. And so anyways, you're gonna see a little less of me, a little less of my thoughts in there. I will be obviously, you know, voicing my thoughts and stuff, but they're gonna be a little more chill these days, because you know, it's just a weird, wild world, but where, you know, like in a snap, everything just can disappear, and that's totally fine. Like, it would suck, life would go on, but I want to tread softly. I don't want to ruffle any feathers anymore. I want to stay on topic, and I will do that. And so that's me. That's my solemn promise to myself. Anything else? Let's see. Moving on. Oh, on the if you're not subscribed to the Substack, it's just our newsletter, and then there's a fun new component to it now. Shout out to Mike with Busybody ATL. He does a weekly news alert on everything happening in Atlanta, and it's been cool. And he was gracious enough to partner up with me, I guess you could say. So whenever I send out a weekly newsletter, which is kind of just like a podcast blast, but this time, like, you actually can learn some stuff going on in the city every week. A little bit more of an incentive to sign up, and especially on his behalf as well. His newsletter is very, very thorough, with all the new events going on and stories, and we're going to do a top 10 for the Shmooze, but I'm excited. I think it's a cool partnership opportunity, and I want to make sure I give him a shout out. Where are we at on time? I feel like I'm 7 minutes, 8 minutes. Yeah, we'll call it there. Sorry, little belch at the end. All right. Today's guest, Grant Wallace. Great name. Frickin' best name I've ever interviewed anyone, conversation or otherwise. So, he's just a cool dude, and you're gonna enjoy learning about his farming and his awesome kids. And I mean, there's a lot to unpack here, but it's just I was really stoked to like kind of reconnect with him and get to spend some time with him. And so yeah, let's get this show on the road. Without further ado, this is Grant Wallace interviewing Grant Wallace, and away we go.
When you're in need of a plumber, a roofer, a gilder, a builder, a baker, a candlestick maker, electrician, technician, landscaper, bricklayer, flooring and fencing, I need to say we could be schmoozing. We could be schmoozing at the Southern Shmooze.
Double check I have everything turned off this time so we don't lose anything. Check that's off. And yeah, do you have any questions? Not yet. Yeah, they'll come. The questions will come.
Yeah.
All right, today is 29th of July. Almost August. Hell yeah. Today's guest, it's not a typo. It's not a, I'm not crazy. Today's guest is Grant Wallace.
Hello, yep.
What's your middle name?
Joseph.
Okay, Thomas.
But
So-
I don't know if you remember, but our dads are both William Scott Wallace.
Your dad's name is William Wallace?
Yeah. Yours was too, right?
Yeah.
Or is too?
Jesus, that is spooky.
Yeah.
I guess that's, I mean, surely that's happened before, but
Oh, it's such
just
a good name.
just the fact that we are like border, we live in Atlanta, Metro Atlanta together is just like, it's funny. That is a coincidence and a half, you could say.
Well, and we both were in Connors, right? So
That's right. Well, I mean, let's put some, let's see, what should we do first? Put some context behind it, or maybe we'll just start with like, you want to give a little spiel on you and what you do, and then we can maybe dive into the backstory real quick.
Sure. I mean, I don't know where to start. I've done a lot, and I've got a lot going on right now. But if we're going to focus on business-wise, right now I've got the farm that I've been working on, and I've been supplying chefs in Atlanta for about 15 years on that, and that's what I was doing earlier today. Harvesting and then doing all my deliveries. So it was Gun Show and OVs and Kimball House, and then my distributor, Our Apothecary Imports. And then I've also got Moonie Mart, which is out by the farm in Buchanan, Georgia, out west. And that's like my take on the modern country store. So, there you could find like my farm products, also all the dried herbs and that I make into tea blends, and offer people the chance to kind of do their own tea blends as well. Then we also have local ice cream there, locally roasted coffee. We make the lattes and everything. So in a small town like Buchanan with only 1,000 people in it, having something like a Moonie Mart is really surprising to them or to the local population there. And something that people walk in, they're like, holy shit, what is this doing here? Because we've got like a little Piggly Wiggly in the Mexican restaurant, and that kind of is what's out there for to take your family or like a third space.
Yeah. Well, real quick, Buchanan. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, so it's spelled Buchanan, but everyone says Buchanan.
Okay, and that is, I know it's close to Carrollton, I know it's in West Georgia, but where in relation to Atlanta would you say it is?
It's just straight 50 miles west. So
Off of 20?
Yeah, you just go I-20 west until exit 11, which is Bremen, and then you just go north like 5 miles,
Cool.
And that's Buchanan.
So you got the farm, you got the Moonie, you got bunch of babies, or not babies anymore.
They're still my babies.
They're still your babies.
But and then I also just got the real estate license, and
Oh yeah.
I've been involved on the farm I'm at now is a 660 acre farm that's in the middle of burgeoning development into a resort, kind of like an agricultural centered resort, where we have the glamping units and farm tours and garden classes and stuff like that. That's still coming together, but I've been out there for 4 years as the agricultural consultant on the development team. So then the next stage kind of for my growth in that area was to get licensed and eventually work on my own development projects too, and with some of the partners that are out there. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Nice. What do they say? You got your hat and a lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of irons in the fire.
There you go. I knew there was an analogy somewhere. My brain isn't. My girl's almost 1, and she's been teething at the perfect hour of 2 a.m. So I just been hanging out with her every hour, every night. Just
I forget. What do you do to soothe the?
Well,
soothe
I give
that?
her just a smidge of ibuprofen or Tylenol, just teeny tiny amount, and then a wet rag, and she just like slobbers on that thing,
yeah.
and then we just kind of like chill together because she just doesn't want to be in a crib by herself, like just in pain. So as long as she's hanging out with me, she's like happy. But Yeah, my brain's kind of like sketch sleep mode, but I'm freaking, well, it's all good, so no complaints at all. But okay, I'm super stoked to get into some of that, what you were just talking about. But before that, we do have a fun history, I guess you could say, just because I went to Salem High School in Conyers. You went to Heritage?
Rockdale Magnet.
Okay, word. And so you graduated 06-ish?
08
okay.
was the year I was supposed to graduate, but I actually dropped out my senior year.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Just cause?
Yeah, I kind of read Thoreau, Walden Pond, and
Oh wow.
and that kind of really affected me, and I just wanted to, as he says, live life on my own terms and everything. And I'd already decided I want to live, close to the land and within community at that time. So it was also kind of that teenage impulsive decision, like I don't want to give anyone else credit for anything that I do, so I just kind of bailed on the schooling at that time, and then quickly, started having babies and stuff after that. So that's where I think my life started,
Yeah, because you have 3 kids. I've met them. They're fun. They're nice. They're the oldest is now.
Yeah, Harrison's 16.
Hell yeah.
Then Rowan's 14, and my baby Hawthorne, he's 11.
Cool. I got some catching up to do.
Yeah.
3 and 1. So
Yeah,
I'm not
Harrison's basically our height now. I mean, he's 6'2" or 6'2 and a half, something like that.
right on.
He's about to get his driver's license, and it seems like every time he gets in a vehicle or a four-wheeler or anything, golf cart, he kind of pushes the limits and breaks it pretty quickly.
Oh, so a little of adventure in him, or mischief.
Yeah, he's kind of like the bull in the china shop, He's a great guy, but then I think he gets going a little too fast, He totaled out our neighbors side by side like 2 weeks ago.
Damn.
So now he's been working that off, and he sent $500 to this guy so far. But we were watching his cattle farm, and so it's one of those things where it's really fun to be out there on the cattle farm. I'm on the four-wheeler, the kids are on the side-by-side, we're driving around and everything. And it's one of those things where, as a dad, especially a teenage boy, you want to entrust them, to give them experience and everything,
Yeah.
But then oftentimes, or sometimes, kind of bites you in the ass, like this event did. That's something you could look forward to with Gus,
We live. You mentioned cattle farm. I mean, I know I've watched all your cool, fun videos, so I feel like I actually have a pretty. Despite the fact we live an hour away from each other, because your boys shoot your videos, which are super fun for anyone listening, and they're all about what you're doing as far as your farming goes, or the Moonie Mart, or the new realtor thing you got. I'm sure I'll give you a better word for that in a minute, but all that to say, I was going somewhere with that.
Something about the kids, maybe? Or
I got sidetracked thinking about Fern and her cold wet rag for teething. This is, my brain keeps going all over the place today. But no, I think just the fact that we're doing similar things, despite I like to stay busy with just the landscaping, the recycling, the schmooze, and then 2 kids of my own, and then just the fact that you mentioned Gus doing something like that. I don't think, he just started biking, and he might even go without training wheels soon, so that'll be exciting.
Congrats, brother.
But you got a different life, similar life, different life. Here
agree.
in the city, we don't have cattle farms. But that's my question. Your farm, I know it's full of fruits and veggies and stuff and herbs, but you got cattle, you got farm animals too?
No.
Okay.
We had some goats, we've had some pigs, we've had chickens and rabbits, and those we all, butchered and are in the freezer. So I try to live like a homestead lifestyle too. That's one of the real blessings about living there. But it's not to say you can't do stuff in the city, to a certain degree, with your vegetable gardening and fruit trees. I mean, I tell people all the time, planting a fruit tree is probably the best thing you can do, especially if, you've got a family.
You might have even been the catalyst for why I have some, because I saw a video and it got ingrained in my brain for a little bit, because now we have peach, pear, blueberries, and I want to expand, but I just haven't found the time. And my wife has a whole veggie garden down there, which,
Oh, fantastic.
To your point, Gus and I does enjoy picking fruits and whatnot, and it is fun.
Yeah,
so highly
then
advisable.
you get a shovel in his hand too, and then it's fun digging the holes, and planting everything too, and then you remember, it's about building memories, because the fruit tree is going to fruit, once a year, and so, it's a seasonal thing that you get to come back to, so as Gus is 3, 4, 5, 17, whatever, if you guys are still living here.
Yeah.
It's something
we're never
you
moving.
always go back to.
Yeah, we're dying here. Gus is inheriting this home whether he wants it or not.
It's a beautiful home.
No, I love that. Now that I think about it, I am pretty sure I saw one of your fruit tree videos and I was like, yep, I really want to dive into that, and it's been really nice.
Well, my kids will be out there fighting over the fruits and stuff, because it's when the raspberries come in, and the first ones start ripening, it's like a race to the vine every morning.
Not for me. I'm allergic. That's the only thing I'm allergic to. Raspberries.
Raspberries, really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Well, that's what they make artificially flavored raspberry stuff for. But yeah, so I think we got derailed, which is perfectly fine. But you left high school. Did you immediately move to Buchanan, or did you?
No, I stayed in Conyers for a while.
Okay.
Ended up leasing land out there and started my first farm right by Heritage High School.
Oh.
And the landowner was a nice old guy, and he set me up with like his tractor and mowers and wood chipper and all this stuff that I could use for free.
So there's farmland in Conyers? I didn't even know.
I mean, back then there was a little bit, but it was like a 5-acre backyard essentially. Was what it was.
Big backyard.
Yeah. Yeah, there's still a couple pieces there, but there is a ton of development happening there now.
Yeah. But you've been in, like you said, 15 years in Buchanan, right?
No, Buchanan, I've been there almost 5 years now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was in Conyers. I had that farm there. And another business that I've done is irrigation. So I was doing irrigation while having the farm too in Conyers. But then when I moved to West Georgia, I gave that up because all my customers are back, in the Conyers area pretty much.
Do you go to Conyers still?
I do, yeah, because I've got to get my kids every weekend. So we'll do a job every now and then for irrigation, fixing a sprinkler system for a, existing customer. We already know their system.
Cool.
And that's something I'm trying to train my oldest on too, because he's 16 and is eager to earn. So irrigation, it's a seasonal thing, but it's not too complicated, and it's honest work, and it's decently well paid. So I think it'd be good for him to get into that. And that's something that I try to do is provide the kids with some training and experience in all the different businesses that I touch.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let's stay on the farming business, because I'm thinking that might have, and some people ears might have perked up when they heard about, because there's the Grant Park Farmers Market or the Eastland Farmers Market. Which, do you still do that?
No.
Okay.
Since I opened up Moonie Mart, I'm not doing the Atlanta farmers markets anymore. I'm trying to focus my energies out there and sell as much produce as I can at the store.
This group has been growing immensely this past year, and there's been some Carrollton folk popping up here and there, so I know it's branching out to your neck of the woods. With that said, where can people find Moonie Mart if they were inclined to go visit?
I mean, we're all over Google, and I mean, you can find our address,
or I guess
like
physically
that way.
find. what road or like how would you get there?
Okay, yeah, I mean, you can take I-20 to Highway 27, which is exit 11, and then you just head north from there
Okay.
until you hit 120, which is a east to west road that goes, in my mind, from Cobb County to Alabama. But once you hit 27 and 120, we're right there on the right. And it's kind of in a busy gas station parking lot that has like a separate strip mall kind of next to it. Mm-hmm. So we're in the strip mall, in classic country style. The strip mall has a liquor store, a nail salon, a Subway, and then, Moonie Mart breaking the mold.
And you've had it for a year now?
We opened November 1st of last year, so coming up on a year in November.
How's it? This is obviously your first venture into like a brick and mortar thing, right? Mm-hmm. Is it going well?
We're surviving.
Okay.
We're surviving.
You got another year or 2 or 3 in it?
Yeah. I mean, we've got a 5-year lease, and
great.
Part of the reason I opened it up is because of that farm development that I'm working on, and that's just 1.5 miles away.
Oh, wow.
So once that really heats up, my vision is that I'll kind of be like the outpost, for, resort guests to come and, if they want to get coffee or ice cream or something off property, then they can go there too.
Let's dive into that real quick. You said that twice now, but I don't think I've caught on exactly. When you say resort, is that like someone stays at your farm, like an Airbnb?
Yeah. So it's called vetiver.
What's it called?
Vetiver.
I really don't know what you're saying.
Vetiver. It's an aromatic grass.
Okay.
But that's the working name for it right now.
That's the name of the resort.
The resort,
that's
yeah.
on the farm,
yeah.
which is you own, which is 600 acres.
I don't own all the farm. I'm a partner in it.
Okay.
But there's a big real estate investment group, that's led by a main developer who kind of controls that property.
And is this the same developer that you're also partnered with for the real estate part?
It's a different partner on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, you got like you said, a lot of something in the fire.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm following along.
It's like I said, over 600 acres. We're at 700 now.
Wait. What about what? Well, that's so awesome. But what if is the resort part open right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we've got our zoning for it, so we can do, up to 300 rental units, we have some really cool tree houses. We've got 2 prototypes that are up right now.
Wow.
And
you mean like not like a kid's playhouse or tree house, like a stay in a tree house?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like an Airbnb style one. They're made from this company called O2, or Tree Walkers is what they used to go by, I believe. But they have really cool like architectural, designed tree houses, and then some of them have bathrooms in there too, and then we have the glamping units, and all the kits are there, but we just haven't put them up yet. There's still some things we've got to accomplish before we do that.
Are you trying to open this bad boy up this year, next year, or is this a 5-year plan, or how does this work?
Yeah, so we've kind of been promoting it, doing events, and we're doing a bunch or monthly events this fall. That's kind of like our soft launch for it.
Okay.
And build up just kind of some reputation around it as well, and get some traction for it.
You should post in the Shmooze.
Okay. For the events and the
everything,
anything.
Just go for it. I mean, this is all like cool stuff that what I'm hearing is like, when can I bring my family out to stay? So if it's in the fall, I would love to come out, or whenever. But I think a lot of people might be listening to me because you're only an hour away. It's a cool rural fun experience, which I'm having a kin moment to when I went to there's this big farm south Georgia-ish area, maybe an hour or 2 away. It's very popular.
White Oak Pastures.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep. Is the vibes like that?
Potentially. I haven't been down there. Tell me a little bit about what it's like down there.
It's just tons of acres. There's like there's a Moonie Mart component, which is like they had a restaurant, you know, just walk around. There's staff. There's places to stay. You could camp on site, which is what our friends did. I think we got a little cabin down the road, but the White Oak Pastures, their big claim to fame is the owner. He does all. It's a cattle farm to some degree, or most degree, and it's all done with like as environmentally friendly as it can be, and also as cattle friendly as it could be, to give the land and the animals the best lives that they can live. Cool place. I recommend it. And if that's anything like what you're trying to do, then it's very exciting.
Yeah. The owner down there, Will Harris, he's super cool. Does all their, you know, he really brought a lot of light to regenerative agriculture, and
that's
he's
the word.
Put so much investment into it. So really, really inspirational what he's doing, and I definitely do want to check that out down there. You know, I think for our branding and stuff, it might be similar, it might be different. You know, we might be maybe more on the luxury side of things with our units, because like, you know, the tree houses are like very, very cool, you know. And then we're partnering up with chefs to do these kind of open fire dinners. So
wow,
that's why we're, you know, focusing on one weekend a month, you know, this fall, but then eventually it'll be, you know, every weekend, you know, of the year. And then it kind of like is an outdoor cooking, you know, party kind of.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I'll be your first guest.
it's still in the works, so it'll be probably piecemeal to come out.
Now, this is also a little needs a little context, but I originally called you because I saw something, you know, you posted about real estate world and, you know, investment opportunity, I guess you could say. And this was what, a couple weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Since now and then, because I've been very interested in buying an investment property for generational wealth, something to maybe pass down to my kids or maybe my family. You never know, like, who might need something down the way. I got a spot in the West End, or technically West View. I'm very excited about it. It's this really cozy, cute, just bungalow vibe. But all that, thank you. All that to say, I do want to chat. I know this should be an off-pod conversation, but or maybe someone's listening and they're also interested in this investment world, because you are how's it? Are we going? Am I going anywhere with this? Or is there an opportunity still for someone to participate in what you're doing in that world?
Yeah, we'd have to become, you know, a bit of friends first and stuff like that. There are some kind of regulations around advertising and investor opportunities, you know.
And is this specifically for this cool resort thing that you're doing called the word I can't pronounce, or is this for something more outside of that?
It could encompass all of it.
Oh, okay.
You know, there's and again, so I have to become friends with the person before we start talking about it and make some disclosures and all of that. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be a ton of growth out there.
And you're specifically talking about West Georgia in general, or the Buchanan area, or?
Yeah, me personally, I'm really passionate about the Buchanan area. I mean,
and
West Georgia, sure, but Buchanan's really where where I'm staking my claim.
Did you say there's only a population of 1,000?
Yeah.
Wow. So that's like this neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
you know every neighbor then?
2 stoplights.
2 stoplights? Hell yeah.
Yeah, but one of them is on that main highway, so I don't really know if that one counts or not.
That counts. That gives me I got family in North Dakota, and there's maybe 1 stoplight up in where they live, in Wapaton. But yeah, that's rad.
Well, it's a really interesting kind of life and lifestyle out there. I mean, we're missing so much that Atlanta has. You know, like when we compare lifestyles of you know, I get to have a lot of, you know, room to roam and, you know, more, maybe some peaceful noises around me, and but there's no real, there's not as much, you know, people or social, you know, opportunities. So that's one of the reasons why I'm real passionate about that area too, is, you know, I live there and I want my kids to settle in that area with me too.
Do you think they will?
I hope so. I don't know though. You know, they all are very different. And my oldest son Harrison, he's always wanted to move to Atlanta, and he bounces all over the place on what he wants to do. You know,
Well, he's 16, right?
Yeah.
So what? He has 2 years before he kind of.
and he's still trying to decide, if he wants to go to college or not too.
Okay. Well, but you're in Atlanta, what, every week?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and as someone that went to West Georgia, the college, I was, you know, like back and forth every week for years. So it's a commute, but it's not the worst thing in the world. And Carrollton's even farther, I think, if I had to guess. But yeah, let's. That's exciting. I hope. I'm trying to do something similar, or at least I will be trying to do something similar in the future when my kids are older. I'll be like, you know, I'll be like, hey, I got this other house down the street. You know, like, you know, if it's calling your name, please help yourself, because like I don't want, you know, they'll make their decisions, but I'm hoping they don't involve like moving to, you know, halfway across the world or anything.
Well, what's your philosophy on that? I'm like, I mean, the kids are young still, but have you put thought into how you're going to, or how you're going to guide them into, you know, adulthood with business, or are you going to encourage entrepreneurship, or?
Yeah, I have. I mean, a smidge, right? Gus just started like, he's a blabbermouth now, in probably the best way you can be. But like a year ago, he was just like, you know, saying hi, and now he's just like tell you everything you could ever think of. But there is this. Well, yeah. I mean, as somebody that likes to stay busy, and I love our community, and I want to be a part of it, I'd love to push him in that direction, gently. Obviously, let him choose whatever path he wants. But there's like there was this thing we went to recently in Summerhill. I can't remember what it was called, but it was a bunch of kids, roughly, let's just say 4 to 10 or something, and they all had their own business. But you know, and it was like,
I love that.
Somebody painting a picture, or maybe somebody had like, I remember a kid had a bath bomb. I was like, that's cool. But it was like, you know, very like mildly, it's definitely just like they're getting their feet wet. But I was just like very like, oh, this is rad. I want to kind of get him into that world, and just kind of just see what happens. But I think it's just going to happen organically, because, you know, he likes whatever dad does, and dad likes to do fun business work stuff that he also enjoys. Like with the landscaping, for instance, digging holes, planting trees, or the recycling. We started going to Charm to teach him about recycling, and then with the Shmooze, it's like endless opportunities for him to meet and greet all sorts of different people and professions. And so yeah, it's exciting to say the least. Do you have a preference on where you see, other than having your kids stay, you know, in the metro area, you hope they follow kind of footsteps in the irrigation or farming, or what's the Moonie Mart considered? What would you call that? A business establishment owner?
Yeah, retail owner, I guess.
Sure, retail owner.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like what we're saying, what you were saying. It's a lot of exposure to different, you know, entrepreneurial activities, and then, you know, of course, it all backstops into relationships. So, you know, I try to introduce them to people all the time, you know, and shaking the hands, looking people in the eyes and stuff. And
Nice.
But yeah, I think it's going to work itself out on its own. They've already shown a ton of interest. It is harder as they get older, you know, with the teenage years now. What I've seen is they are starting to carve their own ways a little bit more now, which is a good thing. But it's I'm stuck with the challenge of kind of maybe course correction or just a little bit of guidance there, and it's really exciting for me because I just really love those kids, and I've had them since I was 20, so basically I kind of grew up with them. You know?
They like the audio video world though, because they do your videos. So like, is there, and we have businesses in our group that could also use some video work. Would they be interested in helping out them?
I'm sure they would, yeah. I'm sure they will eventually. My youngest, Hawthorne, he's really into it, and he's got such a great camera presence too. On all the videos that he's on just seem to do better than the ones that are just me or, some of the other kids. But, he wants to do a cooking channel, and, I've been trying to help him with that just a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of like, you are a bit of a chef too, to a certain degree, right?
Yeah. I don't like to call myself that though, because the real chefs in Atlanta that I sell to, that's their proper title.
Yeah.
But I've, being a chef in Conyers is a different, I was and not to throw shade on Tin Plate where I was, opening chef over there because they're a great establishment, but it's just different than the Michelin guys in the city. But yeah, I've done the chef thing, so my kids are all really excellent cooks too, and that's one of the funnest parts about being at the farm is going out and gathering all the different ingredients across the property, going to the freezer and thawing out, something that maybe it's a rabbit or, chicken that we've butchered. And just, it kind of goes back into the entrepreneurial thing where you were saying the kids were selling it. Creating something gives gives kids like real power and like understanding of like what they can do with their freedom.
Nice.
So we're gathering food. That's like taking things into your own hands and being responsible for some action. Same thing with like the entrepreneurial activities as children.
Yeah.
Showing them that it's the things that they do that can add value into their life, be it like a good meal or money for whatever they want, Fortnite points or whatever it is.
Okay, that's interesting because like there's the real get your hand, or as Pike says, Pike Nursery, it's fun to play in the dirt or whatever, getting touch grass, another way to say it, but they are kids at the end of the day, or teenagers. Are they in the whole iPad technology world too? I guess they have to be if they're like shooting video for you.
Yeah.
But they still, I don't know. Is there a challenge there to? Because right now there's a helicopter just waiting for that to fly by. But I gotta show you. Like I got one of those. One of the members of the Shmooze gave me this old CRT TV. It's like 7 inches big, and we just been playing like old Sega games on it and showing him old Disney movies. I feel more comfortable and confident that this is not rotting his brain as much as giving him a phone and letting him watch Paw Patrol for hours on it. All that to say, are you navigating any of those technology worlds where you're trying to like keep him more centered in Earth, possibly?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, that really does grind my gears, when they're, because my oldest two, they do have smartphones. And, when they're on it, it does, does get to me. But, I say to them, if you guys are working on a video or doing something for the social media for, Moonie Mart or one of the other accounts that we have, then, that's fine. So, I don't want to be like a dick about it and like, take their phones away and then, only, because they have all their friends on there with the social media and they're talking in the group chats, and this is, how they're hanging out. When me and you were growing up, we had AOL Instant Messenger and
I loved AIM.
some texting, but social aspects are real important, and You know, and that's one of the other things about living in the country is there's not a lot of kid neighbors, so you have to, you know, you got to find your own way for them to have a social life.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's when we're out at the farm, you know, we're trying to stay busy, we're trying not to be on the phones. We don't have like game consoles or anything out there. But yeah, it's definitely a challenge because I don't know, it's you don't want to like control your kids, right? You just want to guide them and let them make their decisions on their own and like.
Yeah, to a certain degree. I guess I'll have to. You have more experience than me, but I'm definitely like honing in way harder. I think me and my wife are on the same page of being like less is more when it comes to technology at such a young age.
Oh yeah.
Because I think I've heard a couple anecdotes of just like getting sucked in too early, and then it kind of like, you know, the brains start to change in certain funny ways that you don't necessarily want. But it's also like almost uncontrollable because like school has like all the stuff in it that it's just like, even if you don't have it at home, they might have it at school, or like you said, friends and whatnot. So I think there's a nice delicate balance in there that I struggle with, and I know a couple of my guests have also mentioned like, because like the Shmooze is like, you know, internet. It's like I gotta be on it, and it's like it just is what it is. But setting boundaries is hard but necessary. We went down a rabbit hole there, but I did want to ask something else, unless you had any other final thoughts on whatever we were just talking about.
Go ahead.
Okay, because your farm, I know you have how many different kinds of foods are there? Like, and I guess by foods I mean fruits or veggies or herbs, etc. Because you have a ton. Like, I don't know how many, dozens.
Yeah. So it's broken up into two big fields. You know, one of them is the one that's close to the farm entrance, and that's what I've been working on for a long time, and that's the 1 acre perennial herb garden.
Okay.
But in the past few years, you know, that I've been there, you know, I established the perennial herbs, but then I started plugging in all the fruit trees in there too. So now I'm kind of calling it the food-producing food forest, because it's, as those trees are growing up, you know, it's kind of starting to, well, not like your yard, but you know how your yard has all the, it's more like landscape, not necessarily in rows, right? So
right.
It's kind of turning into that, where it's more based on like curvy pathways, and that all ties back into being able to do those garden tours, you know, in the future. But it's also just really nice to build a garden that, you know, it's like real walkable and nice. You know, like after a long day, maybe I'm in my, maybe I'm kind of near my wit's end with the boys or something. You know, we can kind of always come back to center and say, all right, let's just go take a walk in the garden for a little while and kind of get grounded again through doing that. And it's something, you know, that we've all worked on together for years, and so, you know, it's just a good feeling to kind of stroll through there. But within there, you know, there's fig trees, apple trees, persimmons, pomegranates. We've got asparagus, raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, some strawberries, mulberry. So that's all in that 1 acre, you know, herb garden, and then there's all the perennial herbs there too, with the assortment of mints and, you know, the hyssops, marjoram, oregano, all the things that come back year after year.
Yeah.
That's where we built there. And then there's another field just a few minutes away, you know, still on the property though, and that's where we do the produce. So right now it's a bunch of tomatoes, some peppers, a bunch of pumpkins, watermelons, and you know, earlier in the year we did a big harvest of broccoli and cabbage over there.
And then are you, and I know you're bringing specifically the herbs, I think, are going to the restaurants around Atlanta.
Yeah, the herbs and the edible flowers.
Okay, and then are the rest going to Moonie Mart, or where's everything else going?
Yeah, so Moonie Mart sells what we can there, and then I've got a CSA partner. It's called Farmers Fresh CSA, and they do deliveries throughout the Atlanta area and also West Georgia. But they're based in Tallapoosa, which is just like 15 minutes away from the farm where I'm at now.
Sorry, I just. Oh no, where'd it go? My thought. You mentioned CSA.
Yeah.
Is there one called Love is Food? Love is.
Yeah, Love is Love is a big one.
That's the one we use.
Too, yeah.
Are you associated with them?
No,
Okay.
they're on the east side. I think they're in Mansfield. So that's, as a CSA partner, that's a little too far.
What's
for
CSA
me.
again?
It's community supported agriculture. So it's basically sometimes a weekly or bi-weekly farm share that's either picked up or delivered. So you sign up for a season or a part season, maybe like 8 weeks or 12 weeks.
Yeah.
And then you get deliveries or pickup point.
Fresh Harvest is another one. Is that right?
Fresh Harvest is like a distributor.
Okay.
So they partner with a bunch of different farms to have a wide variety of products. But that's what Farmers Fresh CSA does out in West Georgia too. So they aggregate a lot of local farms there, and so whenever I have extra produce, I could lean on them a little bit too.
Is it okay to use any Georgia CSA, or are they all helping out one way or another?
I can't really answer that. I don't know them all.
I just assume that they're like, it seems like they're doing a local thing where you're buying local instead of like going to maybe the grocery store and picking up something that came from a million miles away. So I guess.
Well, the cool model on that too is you give them your money up front too. So you'll spend maybe $300 to $400 or $500 for a share.
Yep.
So that helps the farmers out too, so they're getting their money up front. So that, helps with the seed cost and fuel cost and, labor cost of getting everything started. So then we're not having to put that on a loan or something. Instead, it's coming from the community. It's kind of like a community loan, if you will, to grow that produce for the year.
Yeah, I figured it was a good thing. I just figured you might know more than me, because we just signed up because we pick up literally down the street, and we like the people and we like the food, so it was just an easy decision for us to make. So glad to hear that world is good. So we figured out. I think we figured out a lot. Just kind of going down
going a lot of different directions.
Yeah, we are going. My brain is scattered, like I said, but I think we're hitting a lot of fun topics, especially because you grow the food, you can get it out, or what you mentioned some restaurants earlier, but could you re-mention those again? The ones that you work with in Atlanta?
Yeah, so direct partnerships I have now is Avi's in West Midtown, and they just got on North America's top 50 restaurants, and that's the only restaurant in Georgia that was on that list.
Top 50 restaurants in Georgia?
No, in North America.
North America?
Yeah.
Like A-V-I-V?
A-V-I-Z-E, Avi's.
And that's in West Midtown?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like kind of Brady Avenue and Marietta over there, kind of like by King Plow, or...
Were you there today?
Yeah, I was there today.
Or walk me through your day. Where all did you go?
Yeah, so, I had to finish my harvest this morning, and then we got on the road. I did Our Apothecary Imports, which is my distributor for the other restaurants I don't do direct. And they are really cool. They specialize in like truffles and caviar and like imported oils and stuff like that. And then, they help me out by doing the sales and customer service and delivery, so I don't have to hit, 15 restaurants in one day.
Nice.
And then after that, I went to Avi's, which is also, Michelin recommended right now.
And what did what certain things did they take from you?
They're like an Alpine cuisine is where Chef Carl is inspired by, because that's like some of his heritage.
Like alpine, like the mountains.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's
Yeah,
mountain
like-
food considered?
Like, you know, the dry aged duck is like his kind of signature dish.
And then are you providing the herbs for the duck?
I provide, the herbs, and it's also hay smoked, so I provide the hay for that too.
What hay?
Yeah.
Like horse hay? Or
Or cow hay, whatever. But it's like a botanical kind of hay.
Wait, you eat the hay?
No, it's you use it to smoke the duck kind of at the end for extra flavor. You know, so like
Oh,
smoked
wow.
brisket and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
You know, so there's smoked duck, but it's kind of a cool thing people have been doing recently. Or I don't know how long they've been doing it, but
It has a hay smoke.
adding the hay smoke to it.
That's fun.
And then after that, I went to Kimball House, and I work with Miles over there, the bar program director.
What did they get? Did they get any hay?
No, he got shiso.
What's she show?
Shiso is
Shiso.
it's an Asian herb, but much of it's been naturalized here. And it's not super invasive, but it can be, poisonous to some cattle and stuff. But so I try to, keep it under control at the farm. But it's got like a licorice kind of grassy taste to it. And, traditionally in Asia, they get the big leaf. And as far as I know, they, would put some kind of stuffing in there, like, steamed pork or vegetables, and kind of use that as a taco shell. So he got that, and he's really cool about making. Have you been to Kimball House before?
I'm very familiar with the name, but it's drawing a blank on even where it's located.
It's in Decatur,
Okay.
right on Trinity there, and it's they're known for all the oysters and their bar program,
Got it.
and like James Beard, awarded bar program. And then after that, I went to Gun Show, which are some real homies of mine. They've been customers for like probably a decade or so, and just super consistent with me.
That one on the cab?
Gun Show's on Bill Kennedy,
Oh, okay, cool.
so by that Kroger and
The Glenwood Park area?
and they're super fun. If you haven't dined there before,
I guess I'm not a restaurant connoisseur based off our conversation, but what food did they get?
a bunch of herbs. So the red basil, the African blue basil, marjoram flowers. I have to look see what else they got, but I'd like to describe the dining experience there. So you sit down at your table, and then it's an open kitchen, and the 4 or 5 chefs there, they're responsible for like 2 or 3 dishes on the menu at a time.
Okay.
By themselves. And so as you're sitting there, the chefs will come up with plates that they've made, and they come to your table and they ask you if you want it or not.
Cool.
And then, if you do want it, then they sign it on your little list there that you got it, give you the food, and then they try to sell the rest of their plates, and they just kind of keep doing that in rotation all night.
Okay.
So you're getting hot, or you're getting plates brought to you. It's just a really fun.
I might do that for a nice date experience.
Yeah, it's definitely up there for like a fun date.
Okay, what if a restaurant's listening right now and they want your herbs? Are you taking on new customers?
We'll funnel them through Our Imports, most likely.
Okay.
But yeah, it's my website's our-apothecary.com, and that's the local produce is all listed on there. So you could obviously reach out personally, and I could either handle that inquiry or pass you on to Our Imports, because they're in the city 7 days a week, and they're really focused on the customer service and talking with the chefs and figuring it out. They're really great partners.
Nice.
So that's probably what I would suggest.
And that's going, or how's that going? Is that going well, or because you've been doing that the longest, right?
For the chefs with the herbs and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it evolves. I've tried every kind of way pretty much to do small scale farming and make a living on it. So I've done the produce and the pigs and the chickens and the eggs and all that stuff too, where I was also, selling at the farmers markets all those products. But I found, over time that working with chefs was more exciting for me, and I felt more rewarded by that work too.
Do you think the customers eating at the restaurants know the fun backstory about how you're involved in it?
I would say probably not usually. I mean, they're, at gun show they have the, the farmers on the wall, written down and stuff. And there's, several, restaurants that are like that, and some restaurants will have you on the menu too. And then, like with the V's, we do a lot of cross promotion stuff. So, like he's a partner with Georgia Grown, and so we did an episode on GPB with them for.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, it's like a peanut farmer or peanut farm, kind of in the beginning of the episode, and then it goes into my farm, the second half of the episode.
Okay.
So that's how some, we do cross promotion stuff like that, and then I go up there for any event that I can. He asked me to attend, and we'll try to, speak a little bit.
Speaking of events, what are you doing on November 14th?
I'm not sure yet.
I haven't even announced it yet, but we do an annual Shmooze market. Last year we called it Schmoozapalooza. This year I don't know if we keep the name or we just do something else, but it'll be in Grant Park. We're doing it with the Grant Park Conservancy. I think I got that part right. But we're just getting a bunch of our businesses together just to hang out for a few hours, and hopefully a few hundred people show up and everyone can chit chat. Anyways, just wanted to extend the invite in case you're still doing.
Is that what we did a couple years ago?
Yeah, that was. What was that?
Where was that? Was in
that was East Atlanta.
Or
that was
something?
at the farmers market. Wow, trying to wrap my head around what the. Do you remember what
was it? A neighborhood? It was like a neighborhood fundraiser or awareness thing, or I feel like there's something with the neighborhood there.
Was it a Shmooze thing? It was a Shmooze thing, right? Or were you just there?
No, I mean, it was an event you put on.
Okay, yeah, so it was a Shmooze thing for sure.
Yeah, and that was actually funny. My oldest, he saw the Stranger Things cast up there.
Sick.
And he yelled at him to take a picture. He's like, "Yo, let me get a pic."
What'd they say?
And they said, "Nah."
Oh.
He kept moving. So.
Well, anyways, yes, I can't. It wasn't. That was a Shmooze thing. This one's just like I got better with it, right? I'm not like. I think in the past I tried to just do it all myself, and then I realized like, oh no, I need to piggyback. I need to collaborate with somebody that also has a.
You're collaborating with the Grant Park.
Yeah, they're being very kind and just letting me hop on the fall festival that they're already putting on. So it's
Awesome.
just like we're doing it together. But yeah, I wasn't sure if you still did those pop-up things still.
I've gotten crazy busy, and unfortunately, my delivery van, we got in an accident last November, so I don't even have
Did
a market van.
Was it Harrison? Did he bust it up?
No, it wasn't Harrison, thank God.
Okay.
No, somebody ran a red light.
Aye.
Yeah, it's a disaster.
Well, regardless, it's all good. I kind of just wanted to pop that in there about the event, just to put the word out as I'm starting to officially talk about it now that it's official.
Well, I've got to say, man, you've always been so good at marketing, and everything that you're doing up here, it always seems that you've got that touch to make stuff successful. So selfishly, would you mind giving me some tips?
Let's see.
And I'm sure other people want to hear
tip
too.
number one is just to, which I think you're already found a nice balance, was just like trying, now that I have kids, like before kids I didn't care if I was 8 to 8 every day, just doing something in the marketing world or just working or whatever. But post kids, I'm like actively trying to like, you know, spend time with them to a certain degree instead of working. But there is always so much work to do, even if it is fun work. I still, so anyways, tip number one is just like, trying to like turn my phone off or at least put it away or whatever if I'm hanging out with them, because what they see, if they see me constantly like looking down or whatever, that's just gonna like start to become normal or to a certain degree, and I'd rather like you know, at least let them know like, you know, there's a balance. I don't know the best way to phrase it, but other than that, I think the thing with the schmooze that it's really like, I'm focusing on that just because like that's what we're here for right now. But it's the word of mouth aspect is nuts about how, because I didn't expect that, because I kind of just saw it as a online, you know, Facebook group for many years, and then as the last year and a half or so, I've transitioned, you know, into a business. But by doing so, I've put like a lot more time and energy into making sure I can make the business happy and the members of the group and try to yada yada yada. But my brain is connecting the dots. Where was I going? Word of mouth. It's just so surprising to know that the Southern Shmooze is verbally being spoken out loud, because I just assumed everything was just typed out constantly. I don't know if that's good marketing advice. I think to answer your question, I think, you know, you're already doing it. You love what you do. You're putting your time and effort and energy into, you know, making your babies, literal babies and business babies, all thrive together.
Well, what about Grant Atlanta? Because that's kind of a different one.
Then that's a whole like different thing. My marketing advice there, and I didn't even give you good marketing advice for the schmooze. I kind of just rambled. But my marketing advice for Grant Atlanta is actually yard signs. I am always blown away that because when I see a yard sign, I'm like, no, I notice it and then I look away. It's not a big thing, but we get 1,000 requests a year, and a lot of them are just like, I saw your yard sign, and I'm like, that's crazy, because when I first put them out there, I was like, this is silly, this is whatever. Like, I think people.
So where are you putting them? Are you putting them in client yards, or are you sticking them just random places?
No, I don't do random, because like they'll just get picked up and thrown away by the city. But if you get, you know, pop them in a yard somewhere discreet, I don't want it to be like the star of the show. I kind of want it hidden off in a corner or something. And it also doesn't hurt that like our land did the art. He's a local artist, so people like his art. So like that all ties in. And other than that, I mean, I don't have any. The only other marketing advice I can give on that sense is the website. How's your website? Do you get a lot of traction on it?
No. For Our Apothecary, it's really just an ordering portal, and then, you know, Moonie Mart. It's not crazy traffic on there. We did an online store. It hasn't really taken off though.
Here's my advice: post on the schmooze.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
So you think that even though I'm in West Georgia,
it's totally chill. Like, you know, there was at one point a year or so ago, I think there was like a more people were more interested in like ITP, and then honestly out of my control. Like I can't like DM every single person and be like, all right, where do you live? And because it doesn't, even if it says Atlanta on their profile, it's like Atlanta's so big, you don't even know. And it's like, I could gatekeep some of the people posting like, hey, can you help me? I'm in Douglasville, or hey, I'm in Buchanan or whatever. But I feel like they're just wanting help at the end of the day, and it's bad of me to refuse it, especially since I'm not getting any like negative feedback from any of the members either. Like, think people are
So
just
do you,
accepted it.
how do you imagine the growth of Southern Shmooze going? Do you imagine it going, because it's going beyond ITP now? Is there other territories you're going to go into, or what's the plan?
Yeah, there's technically I did have a pie in the sky idea to come out to West Georgia to incorporate all of the West Georgia counties, but I'm putting that on the hold for now, and so I just focus on the metro area. But with that said, I'm definitely if somebody from Savannah or Blue Ridge types something in the group, I'm gonna have to rein in the reins there, because that's down the way.
But regional Southern Shmooze groups in the future?
Yeah, no, I got a whole Georgia plan. I wouldn't even say this year or next year, potentially. I want to lock in everything here in Atlanta first before venturing out. But yeah, no, it would be fun to do Georgia as a whole, because there's north, south, east, west, and then coastal. Those are the main areas that I guess there's middle Georgia too. So there's a hodgepodge, but that's on my back burner. And the only thing I mentioned about the website earlier was just specifically for Grand Atlanta, just putting time and energy into making it look good and putting a contact form smack dab on the front of the website. That changed everything. After I did that, got some Google reviews, yada yada, it just took off. So my only advice there is maybe hire a website guy. I don't know. I'm currently working with a website guy I'm really stoked on. His name's Jonah, and so if you do need a contact there, I can help you out. But yeah, you'd be surprised how, or at least I don't know, landscaping is way different than what you're doing to a certain degree. We're mowing people's yards and yada. So there's might be a disconnect there, but I just would say yard signs and websites are a really good way to focus your time, other than the awesome videos you're posting. By the way, we're over an hour, so it's usually a good cutoff time, unless you got any final thoughts. You want to plug your website again, or how somebody can contact you, email, phone, or whatever?
Yeah.
Instagram?
Yeah, so Moonie Mart, MoonieMart.com. We're also on Instagram and Facebook. For the farm, for our chef customers, that's our-apothecary.com, and that's also on Instagram. And then for the real estate stuff, if you want to reach out to me directly, if you're buying or selling or looking for a homestead in West Georgia, that's kind of my whole goal right now, is to connect people to their future homesteads. Not trying to get anyone to move out of Atlanta or anything, but my number for that is 678-517-3933.
Yeah, I think we did it.
Excellent. Had a
Thank
blast.
you. All right. Bye.
When you're in need of a plumber, a roofer, a gilder, a builder, a baker, a candlestick maker, electrician, technician, landscaper, bricklayer, flooring and fencing, I need to say we could be schmoozing. We could be schmoozing at the Southern Shmooze.